Emisión.net.
Hello again and welcome to Letter from England, broadcasting for AC Press and the Spanish Evangelical Alliance. My name is Jonathan Dawson. Last Friday saw the award presentation for the Unamuno Friend of Protestants Prize, which has been created and given for the first time this year by this news agency, by AC Press and Protestants Digital. The winner, Enar Corby, an erstwhile socialist MP, and is now advisor in the Department of Religious Affairs of the Spanish government, said in an interview with this agency that laicism is basically respect for someone else's religion, and that the visibility of religious pluralism in the public arena is the guarantee of laicism in society. Corby won the award for her work with Protestants in particular, though she's also helped other minority groups in Spain, in her belief that religious pluralism is an important part of modern Spanish society and needs to be recognized by all concerned, and is actually the guarantee of a stable pluralist society. Corby describes her parents as lay humanist Republicans. They had to go into exile in France at the end of the Civil War, and Corby herself was born and educated there. And it was there that she first heard of Protestants who helped her family. At the age of 15, she came into contact with English Protestants as she went there to learn English. A Quaker family influenced her at this time, and she attended a service with them. Seeing the enormous impact this had on her, Corby's father gave his full permission for her to keep in touch with the Quakers and to make her own decisions regarding her spiritual life. Her second contact was with a lecturer in Spanish at the Sorbonne University in Paris. This lecturer was a Protestant, and Corby learned from her behaviour and lifestyle. She began to discover that several of her teachers were Protestants, deducing this from the values that they taught her. When she returned to Spain with Franco still alive, she recalls how her husband was harassed. He'd been a prisoner in Madrid, where they tortured him. And for Corby this was a fearful new world, coming as she did from the freedom of France. She taught at a school run by progressive nuns and came into contact with working-class priests, and places on record that there were sections of the Catholic Church open to change, and which did help the process towards democracy in Spain. She remembers with particular clarity 3 episodes from her time as an MP. The debate over the impunity of Pinochet, the rehousing of gypsy families in Madrid, many of them evangelicals, and the constitution of a working group made up of representatives of minority religions in Spain. She says that she's learnt that laicism in practice means respecting one another's religious beliefs. Laicism and religious pluralism are totally compatible, she says, and she's now responsible for the outworking of agreements signed by the government with the Spanish Jewish and Protestant communities. Well, she's received congratulations from many friends since the announcement that she'd won the Unamuno Friend of Protestants Prize, awarded by Protestants Digital. Since she has not seen some of these friends for a long time, she herself concludes that it must be, quote, because of the publicity that you have given it. Unamuno, for those who are listening perhaps from abroad and don't know, was a Spanish philosopher who lived during the time of Franco and before that as well, and was an early advocate of pluralism and a wider debate about beliefs and values in society. Corby says she was surprised to win the prize and has been reflecting on whether she deserves it or not. And this has led her to think about all those people who have influenced her own spiritual path. She says the prize does not just belong to me, but to all those who have taught me to think. It includes obviously parents and teachers. Also to those who have shared in my battles to gain recognition for the Protestant world. I have only done my duty, she says. As to the future, Corby would like to see greater respect for the religious beliefs of others, and that the agreements signed with the historic faiths are adhered to. Plurality should be just that, not the removal of religion from the public sphere. She would also like to see the religious plurality in Spanish history recovered, with recognition of the contribution made in past centuries by Protestants, Muslims and Jews. And she concludes by saying that one must also remember the special affinity between Republican ideals and Protestantism. Enad Corby, then, a worthy winner of the first Unamuno Friend of Protestants Prize for her work in helping Spain recover its small but significant Protestant heritage, in helping Spain recognize the existence and worth of Protestants today, and giving Protestants the opportunity to have a voice once again in Spanish society. Will Spanish Protestants be ready and willing to take up the mantle, to live within a framework of religious, social and cultural diversity, and yet proclaiming the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ in a gracious and yet faithful way? That remains to be seen, but it's to be hoped that the annual award of the Unamuno Friend of Protestants Prize will, in some small way, help towards the achievement of that task. Thank you again for listening to Letter from England, broadcasting each week on emission.net. Goodbye for now.
Emisión.net